Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Content Modeling Weekly course. In fact, this is lesson number 47. I can't believe I have 47 lessons already. I'm Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Today, we're going to be talking about, it's actually part 2 of the grid layout system that we designed in part 1, which was lesson 46. In lesson 46, we designed it. I'm going to go over it real quick in the Miro board to show you, just to recap it, but you can watch lesson 46 for the full lesson there. But then we're going to jump into Contentful, and we're going to go ahead and add it there and experience that content model from an authoring point of view. But before we get started, you know how this works. I'm going to tell you real quick about headlesscreator.com. Just go there, get your free account. Your account gives you access to pretty much every course I have, and I have lots of courses. I mean, you can see we got the content modeling, discover headless tech. I've got 9 headless CMS courses right now. Focus on 2 boot camps, more stuff coming up. Sorry, my eyes itching there a little bit. More stuff coming up. So get your free account. You'll have access to all that content, all the lessons. Like I mentioned with Content Modeling Weekly, you have a bunch of lessons coming up. You can see all the lessons coming up, more after that too. And then you can see all the lessons you have access to, including all the Miro boards as bonus material. So it's real easy. Just go to headlesscreator.com, click on the sign up right there, and you got your free account and you're set. With that said, you know how this works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and restart the intro. Because the on-demand version has absolutely no marketing whatsoever. Also, for those of you watching live, remember you can ask questions in the comments, and I will get to those questions as time permits. But I'm going to restart the intro now, and I will see you in just about 10 seconds. Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Content Modeling Weekly course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. This is lesson number 47. You can get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Today, we're going to continue from lesson 46, where we created a grid layout system in Miro board, designed the entire model. Today, we're going to take that model and put it inside of Contentful and experience it from an authoring point of view. Now, keep in mind, I'm just doing it in Contentful here, but you can put it in any headless CMS you want. Some headless CMS's implementations are going to be a little bit different than others. For example, Contentful only supports content types. They don't have components. Other headless CMSs may have components, so your grids are going to be created as components. I may do another lesson in the future showing in a different headless CMS with components versus content types. But that's what we're going to do. So with that said, let's get to it. Showing my screen right there. And we're going to do a quick review here. Let's just do a quick review of the content model. And this is from lesson 46. So under the bonus material, you have access to this Miro board. You can check it out. And you also have access to the next Miro board, which is 47, which we're going to jump into. But you can see that for the layout system, we have basically 4 columns, or 4 grid types, a 1 column, a 2 column, a 3 column, and a 4 column. And we decided to limit how they can set up those columns. In other words, I, as the marketing person, let's say, in charge in the company, said like, look, they can create these columns, but they're going to be split, like the 2 column will be 50-50, 33-66, so on and so forth that you see here. The same thing with the 3 column, and I decided that the 4 column, they're all going to be 25%. Now you can add more layout types, you can do whatever you like, but I just wanted to keep it simple because the idea here is once you have this in place, you can add as many breakdowns here as you want. But at the end of the day, from a marketing point of view, you're going to want to put some constraints here. And now let's just let them do a 1% column and a 99% column. Okay, having said that, we have 4 content types, 1 for each grid type. In a CMS, a headless CMS that supports components, these will be components, not content types, because these are not going to be reused, the entries. Okay. Then what I've done is I set up a page content tab where I can create pages and I can add content to that page. And then I have some blocks, basically. I have some photo galleries, hero. You're going to see also that I've added a navigation. I added social media. You're going to see that in Contentful in just a minute. And then finally, I have some reusable content, some content types like blog, podcast, FAQ. Now, keep in mind, I'm keeping these content types simple here. This has nothing to do with creating the right blog that has an author, that inherits from author, or a podcast that has many episodes. This is just to show you the grid layout system and how we can add different kinds of content. If you want to see more details on creating a podcast or a blog or an FAQ, I have separate lessons where I go into that. Okay, so this is the review of that content model. If you want to see the full lesson, check out lesson 46. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into Contentful and create a page. And here's a sample page. You can also find this in the bonus material under Content Model 47. And we're going to create, it's a simple page, no big deal. It's a page that has 5 rows. The first row has 2 columns with a 25% and 75%, a logo and a navigation. Then we have a banner that's just a 1 column. Then we have a blog section where I'm just going to display 4 blog articles. Now, probably this isn't the way you're going to do it in real life, but just to show you how this grid layout system would work. Then we're going to have another section, just I call it other section, that will show an FAQ, a photo gallery, and then 2 podcast episodes. And then the bottom will have a footer navigation that's also 2 column, but this time it's 66% and 33%. Now, again, this is all arbitrary. I just want to show you how can we create this inside the Headless CMS based on this content model. So having said that, let's jump into Contentful. I'm going to show you the content model that I put in there just to go through it real quick. So here, let's make it a little larger. Okay, I think that should be good. There we go. So you can see I've added all of my content types in here. I have 3 content types that are blog, FAQ, and podcast, and these are emojis. You can add emojis in the name really easily. For example, if I click on edit, you can add an emoji, and I add emojis just to segregate them and clump them together. So I have my content types, blog, FAQ, and podcast, simple stuff. Here are my grid columns, the 4 types, right? The 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I have 2 page types, what I call page types, a page, and then we'll have page navigations. And then I have blocks, a hero banner, an image, a photo gallery, and social media. Now, these are full-fledged, ironed out content types, right? They're very simple because here is how do we build this page using the grid. It's not about these blocks. Like I said, I have other lessons for that you can check out in the Content Modeling Weekly course there. Okay, so real quick for the grids, I'm going to show you. I have a name that I can give it. Now, in Contentful, these are content types. So you have to give it a name because it needs an entry title. In other headless CMSs that support components, you don't need to give it a name because they would just be put in as a blog directly. So you wouldn't have to give it a name. But in Contentful, we do, and that's fine too. So I gave it a name, and then we have a layout. If you recall, in here we have layout. This is where they select the type of layout they want. So in the 1 column, they can only select 1, and I did it by default. So you can see that they can only select the 1 column, which is 100%, and I made that the default value. I just wanted to add the layout as a standard across all grids. So if we go to the 2 column, name, layout, now we have a left column and a right column now these are references to basically, I didn't put any validation, meaning that I didn't say accept only a certain type. Really what we want to do is probably select everything minus page and probably just page. It's the only one we don't want to select. But right now, just to keep it simple, I'm allowing everything to be added there. And then you can see here under layout, I have for the 2 columns,